Hello everybody and welcome to the Money Man. Now I apologise for the unusual background here today, but it does serve a purpose for this video. Now this is a request that I've had numerous times over the last sort of 12 months. And I know I've been really slow getting around to it, but finally I'm going to show you how I look after my banknotes here in Hong Kong. You've got to remember Hong Kong is a very hot and humid environment, so taking care of my banknotes is quite a big priority for me. And I just got hold of something recently which will help me demonstrate how I actually look after my banknotes. Now, before we get into this back here, I'll show you the plastic sleeves that I use. So my go-to plastic sleeves are these ones from the Linde company in Germany. They are non-toxic, so they're not supposed to interfere with the banknotes in any way, shape or form. The plastic doesn't affect them. So I like to use these. I think they're good quality. They come from Germany, which I'm happy about, because there are a lot of cheap, nasty plastic sleeves, especially the ones that come from China, and they're just a very poor quality. I'm not saying that to criticize China in general. I'm just saying the products, the sleeves that I have seen that are produced in China are just a very poor quality. So I do trust these much more, and I've stuck with them for many years actually. So I store my banknotes individually in each one of these sleeves, and the price is okay actually. They're pretty cheap to get a hold of. So I get these from my local numismatic dealer. I also use a couple of folders as well, and I also have plastic sleeves that fit into those folders, which are produced by this same company. However, as a storage practice, they take up too much space to the folders for me, and I find it awkward getting notes in and out of them when I want to do a video or something like that. So I like to have my sleeves sort of loose and ready, so I can just pick them out, and I know exactly what I've got, and I can access everything really easily. So I have a couple of folders, but I tend not to use them. Now, where do I put these after the banknotes are inside? Well, I actually have a safe, which is normally used for camera equipment. However, I purchased it over a year ago, probably a couple of years ago, and what it does is it controls the humidity inside the safe. So there's a special sort of like air control mechanism inside it, which basically extracts the humidity from the box and creates a sort of like mini micro environment inside the box. So it doubles up as a safe and also like a device that controls the humidity in there as well. So it's pretty good. However, I can't really show you, but principally I can show you how it works using this here. So the safe was working quite well for quite some time, but I've started to run out of space, and especially with the bundles as well. So what I decided to do is get hold of this here. So principally it works in the same way, but it's less sophisticated and not as good. So you can see that this one is not electronic in any way, shape or form. So it's not the best solution to my problem. However, I'm very short of space because I live in a small apartment, as is the way in Hong Kong. So this is the next best thing. So this again is normally used for storing camera equipment. So if you don't have a local numismatic dealer that does other numismatic products other than banknotes, you can go to your nearest camera shop and get hold of something like this. It will serve the same purpose for storing banknotes. So it's pretty good. Now I'll show you how it works. So I pan the camera out a bit. So you can see that we've got a little thermostat here which tells us what the humidity is inside of the box. And basically there are a couple of methods that you can use to regulate the humidity inside. Now once you've opened the box and you've put your stuff in, what you can then do is close the box. Sorry, this video is going to be really amateur. And you can use this little screw top here to try and make it airtight. And then what that should do is help stop any more air getting inside. So that's one good thing. Now you're probably thinking, well, there's already air inside, it's going to be humid. Well, the way to deal with that is actually very low tech. Now what you need to use is these things here, and this silica gel basically sucks out the moisture out of the air inside the box. They do pretty good actually, and the good thing about these ones is you can chuck them in the microwave and it will extract all the moisture, and then you can reuse it. So these are not too bad. It's not a perfect solution, but given that I need something that's got quite, you know, a decent amount of capacity, and I don't want to plug it in anywhere or anything like that, I didn't want to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for something quite large. This is the next best thing. It was cheap. It cost about 15 to 20 British pounds, about 150 to 200 Hong Kong dollars, something like that. And it came with these free. So you just drop a bag inside. There's already a bag inside here, and then just let it do its work and remove it every sort of 2 to 3 weeks, stick in a new one, or microwave it and chuck it back in. So yeah, it's not a perfect solution. However, when this pandemic is over, these banknotes will be sold or swapped. So I'm not planning to keep them around for any length of time. So my safe is reserved for all my collection, my private collection, stuff that I'm going to keep for a long time, and old stuff that is quite expensive and high valued. And stuff like this that I plan to sell or swap soon will go in here. So this will suffice for the short amount of time that I'll actually keep these banknotes for. So that's why I've got my Hong Kong dollars here on the left. And then, you know, I've got my Burundi and, you know, all the different Nigeria and China and whatever. All my different bundles. Libya, North Korea. You know, all that stuff that is probably going to get sold goes in here. So as a short-term solution, I think this is pretty good. And it was really, really cheap. My safe that I bought cost me about 700 Hong Kong dollars, about 70 British pounds. So it was a bit more expensive. So if I'd wanted a larger one, it would have been over $1,000, and I just didn't see the point when this would just suffice, and this is a fraction of the cost. So there you go. That is how I deal with storing my banknotes here in Hong Kong. So let me know, what do you think? Have you learned anything from this? Has this video been, you know, informative or helpful in any way, shape or form? Remember, if you don't have a dedicated numismatic dealer in your area, find a camera shop. Yeah? This kind of stuff will help you to store your banknotes. And let me know, do you also use these Linda products? Do you think they're good, or do you use a different one? Let me know if you recommend any products down in the comment section. I would love to know what companies' products you actually use and how you rate them, because I think this is something that's not really discussed much in the numismatic community. I don't really hear people talking about the storage of banknotes or what they do to keep everything free from, you know, foxing and stuff like that, all those other things that can happen to banknotes. You want to keep them as crisp as possible, in the best, brightest condition as possible. You don't want banknotes looking yellow, because people just don't find it appealing, and it makes them question whether it's true UNC or not. So hopefully this will keep them in good condition. So I'd love to know your opinions on this. How do you store your banknotes? Do you have a setup that is similar to mine? I'd love to know down in the comment section. So that's all I've got for you today. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. It's the Money Man signing out for now. Bye bye.